Um, Tonight we have on one of my very, very favorite coaches, Colleen Curtice. I just love her. I think we've been coaching about the same amount of time, but what I truly love about her is what caught my eye is just how genuine and real she is. So I've seen her speaking about this mindset call she does. And so I had to do some research and I went to YouTube figuring somebody put it there. And sure enough, it was there many times. And it's an amazing call because I really think in this business, if you can master your mindset, you will be wildly successful. I truly do believe that. I mean, the business is actually easy. We all know what to do. We all know how to do it. We all know the vitals. We all know the basics of the business. But if you can master your mindset, getting over your ego and your insecurities and your fears and negative mindset, I really think you're just going to go so far. So, we're coming last week's team call. I just shared, I was pretty transparent and shared about some hard things that I recently have gone through. And you guys are just amazing. And so I think I've been in a little bit of a season of rest because of it all, a forced season of rest. And now that my kids are back in school, I'm just really excited to get focused on you guys and my own, goals and everything. So I think this is the perfect call for this week to kick off the fall and the rest of 2015. So thank you so much, Colleen, for showing up with us tonight. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to hand it over to you.
Hey guys, I'm excited. So I keep track of how many times I do this call, and you guys are number 35. And so I always add things to the call. I take things out. Some days I'm more crazy than others. I stutter over my words. I sometimes blank out. I'm crazy, but I'm human. So last night I did this call and I had some of the focused energy before I did, and it was a horrible idea because I already have a lot of energy. So tonight I didn't do that, but I do have this wonderful new light in front of me that I literally just unpackaged from the FedEx man like 5 seconds ago. So it's not on a stand. I hope it doesn't fall on me. So things could go wild tonight, who knows? But I'm excited to talk to you guys tonight about mindset. I'm going to share a little bit about my background and my story with you guys first, because I think it's so important to know where every single person comes from in this business. It's weird to deem myself successful, but I've definitely seen success with this business. And I have to give 100,000 trillion% of my success to my mindset. So let's rewind a little bit and tell you a little bit about me. I just turned 30. I just got married. I've been a coach for 2 months. I got married on my coach anniversary. Weird, ironic, I don't know. But it's been the best 2 years of my life. Even the 27 years before being a coach, if I was to compile all the great moments, I'm not kidding you, nothing compares to the last 2 years. I'm that crazy Beachbody person who will share this unapologetically. And I think that if I can help you guys understand your mindset, you'll be able to feel a lot better about sharing, because that's the power of this business. So back to my story. I always just want to dive into the topic. I grew up on the East Coast in Drake, Massachusetts. I almost just forgot where I grew up. Like I told you, I'm crazy. It was about a half hour north of Boston. I went to college in New Hampshire. I honestly grew up an amazing childhood. My parents put me through private schools because I was a horrible child. I gave them a run for their money, that's for sure. My sister and I are 7 years apart. We are night and day. We are completely polar opposites. But to be honest, I really did live the American dream as a young child and teenager and young adult. I went to college and played college volleyball at Southern New Hampshire University. I hated school, so I was not a student. I graduated. I always graduated with good grades and everything, but I was one of those people in college that was dreading the real world. I really was. I've always been a free spirit. I've always been the rebel of go against everything that everyone else is doing. I don't know why, because my family's not like that. I'm definitely like the black sheep of my family. And so when I graduated college, I was really concerned about finding a job because I didn't have any passions. I went to school for graphic design, but it was completely a hobby for me. If I could have played volleyball forever, I would have, but I'm 5'4", so you can't play for professional volleyball. So I was a waitress in college, and I think everyone should be a waitress at one point in their life because you'll learn a lot about people. So I had this customer that came in all the time, and she offered me a job with Verizon Wireless. So I was a college student still, just about to graduate. And in 2006, this is before smartphones, this is before iPhones, and I'm totally a technology geek. So basically getting hired with Verizon in 2006 is like getting hired, there's a fly in my room, like getting hired with Facebook today. Okay, that's like the Facebook crew calling you and say, hey, you want to work at Facebook? I mean, I don't even know if that's cool, but you get what I'm saying, right? So I take this job, I move up really fast. I go from customer service to sales to management. At the age of 23, I was managing a multi-million-dollar store in New Hampshire. 23 years old. I think back, I have no idea how I did that. But it taught me a lot about leading and managing and people and retail and corporate. So I did well with the job. We made good money. They pay you well, otherwise everyone would quit. Because think about it, when your cell phone breaks and your cell phone bill's wrong, how mad do you get? It's like messing with your food and your money, right? So fast forward, when I turned 24, I got really bored. And I decided to pick up and move 3,000 miles away, not knowing anyone. And I moved to Lake Tahoe, California. I was able to transfer my Verizon job at that time. And unfortunately, when I got to my new store, I literally ended up working for the devil. This woman made my life a living hell every single day. So if you have a job that you don't like, or you've had a job that you didn't like before, and you feel like you're literally slitting your wrist every single day at work, that's how I felt. It affected my health. I was so young, and I was burning ulcers through my stomach. That's how I met Shakeology, because my stomach was rotting from the inside out. I had the worst relationship with my now husband, then boyfriend. We went through hell and back, and it was all because of my job. I wasn't sleeping. I still kind of struggle with that, but I wasn't sleeping. I mean, the epitome of being unhealthy and going to work every day because it's what I thought I was supposed to do. I was taught to work hard. I have great work ethic, but I never understood that I had a choice to do something different. Don't take this personal in any way, but when I grew up on the East Coast, it's very different than where I am now on the West Coast. My mentality was you grow up, you get old, you get wrinkly, you get fat, you have kids, you buy a house, you get really broke, and you do nothing. Like, that was my perception of life. And I don't know why, but as soon as I came out here, I was like, people do things a lot different out here. So I still put up with the job, but I was trying new things. And I always wondered how I could be a business owner, because I've always had that very strong personality of I can do it, but I didn't know what I was going to do. I just thought I had to work. Blessing in disguise came my way a year and a half after working with that awful boss, and that boss found a way to get rid of me. I came into work one day and I found out that the rug was completely pulled out from underneath me and I lost my job. It was completely unexpected. I was lied to. I was cheated. I could have sued Verizon for what happened to me, but I chose to completely move on. So as you might be able to tell, I don't like corporate, but that's just kind of how it is in my eyes. And so after losing that job, I had to figure something out. I took the next year to kind of try and figure out what I was going to do. And that's when I was scrolling on Facebook. So that's why I share so unapologetically, all because one photo, one post was the smack in the face that I needed, that I too could have the life that I wanted. So that's why when you guys hear share consistently, share unapologetically, we truly mean it, because there might be a day that someone is just scrolling and it's the day that they needed to hear what you had to say. And that's why I do what I do. But we have to be in that mindset that it's our job to help others. So let me just tell you guys how I got into Beachbody real quick. Scrolling on Facebook, and Elizabeth Hartkey is my upline, 10-star diamond, amazing woman. And it's funny because we are polar opposites. We are nothing alike, so usually you attract like. Well, we totally attracted polar opposites. So it's been fun to work together and learn her ways and kind of share ideas. But I reached out to her and I said, look, I really need a change. I feel like if I can commit to my health and fitness, because I was a wreck, I was a hot mess, I was feeling miserable, I feel like I could change my life. And my focus, to be honest, wasn't even finding a job. It was rekindling my relationship with Sean, because I call him Mr. Rainbows and Butterflies. Nothing ever bothers him. He's all like, woo, cool. Like, yeah, like, let's go rock on. That's just how he is. And then me, I was just so stressed out and every little thing bothered me. Everything that came out of my mouth was Debbie Downer. If I could find something negative that wasn't negative, I'd make it negative. And now I challenge everything that's negative to be positive. And it's so much fun now, so much better. So I said to Liz, I don't know how this is going to work, but I need to do something. So I signed up with T25 and vanilla Shakeology. And within 3 days of drinking Shakeology, my stomach was thanking me because I couldn't eat healthy. I couldn't eat the salads and the fruits and vegetables that we're supposed to eat because my stomach was that bad. It couldn't handle processing and breaking down the roughage. So I'm so thankful that I signed up. It's been a completely different experience than what I'm used to as far as working goes. And so I am full of quotes and things that I've lived by and mottos. And so the thing I want to start with is start everything with being grateful and abundance will appear. That one was really hard for me to wrap my head around. So if there's something difficult happening in your life, or you're going through a rough time in your business, or you're wondering why life is happening to you, force yourself in every single moment to start everything with being grateful, and I promise abundance will appear. I tried to give and give and give and give in any way I can, go out of my way to give. And now, I mean, you can call it karma if you want, but abundance has just fallen into my lap day and day again. These amazing people, these coaches that just knock on my door like, hey, I want to be in your team. I've watched you for 2 years. Like all the things we want to happen in our coaching business, start everything with being grateful, number one. Be grateful for this opportunity. Be grateful for Facebook. Be grateful for your upline, everything. Like be obnoxious about it. Abundance will appear. So why is mindset something that I'm so obsessed with? Well, to be honest, when you're a new coach, we kind of feel like we don't know what we're doing, right? I had no idea. And so what I did was I shoved my nose in a book. Now, let me also tell you that I'm not a reader. I am now, but I was not a reader. I never read a book. My mom's a teacher. She hates when I say this. I went to school and graduated and I never read. I don't know how I graduated, but I did. And so when I was told by a mentor, because I was willing to change my life, I was ready to change my life. When my upline said, you need to read personal development, I said, okay, doing it. Like there was no question. There was no, do I really need that? You listen to the things that successful people say, right? So when I hop into this topic of mindset today, I want you guys to be open-minded. It's not about what Colleen says. I've learned from these books. I shoved my nose in so many books because it's all I knew how to do. I was sharing, I was working out, I was talking to people. Not much was happening. So I felt in control when I was reading because I was learning. So everything I'm about to share is a combination of webinars, experiences, everything, okay? And I even give some real life examples. So some people look at mindset as hocus pocus. Some people say, yeah, okay, whatever, crazy blonde lady with purple hair who has a diva light. Like, I don't care what you have to say. Some people just don't care. And to be honest, no offense, if you're that person, you're not ready to change your life. You have to willingly understand that it's surrendering to making changes. And that just like, you know, those customers we talk to and they're like, well, I'm not going to follow the meal plan. I'm just going to work out. And you're like, but you got to follow the meal plan. We're telling you guys mindset and personal development is so huge. So maybe your current plan or your current mindset isn't working, or maybe you don't even realize that it's working against you. I had a huge wake-up call. Sean and I have been through so many breakups back in the day, buffet, where I couldn't understand why he kept leaving me. And guys don't communicate, right? And it was because I was such a Debbie Downer. He didn't want to tell me, you basically are sucking the life out of me. I love you. But so sometimes we don't realize it. So today I'm going to challenge you guys to start thinking about your thinking. And so some people either love me or hate me after this call because you wake up tomorrow morning and you have to start using more brain power. But just like working out, it takes time and effort and energy, and I promise it pays off, okay? I promise. So let's dive in. I talk fast, sorry, I try not to, but I get excited. So there's actually a difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. There's many differences, but there's one that really stood out to me in a book that I read, and it's the way that they think. So you know what I do every day? I wake up, and if I'm feeling stressed or worried or overwhelmed, all the normal human feelings, right? I think I pretend I'm Carl Deichler. How do you guys think Carl feels every single day? He has so much on his brain. That man is amazing. But do you think that he starts thinking bad things? He can't. He can't waste time on that because he has so much to do, and so do we. So he is successful because he's practiced and focused on his thinking. So, and I mean from the very moment that your feet hit the ground when you wake up in the morning, let's say you stub your toe, spill your Shakeology, your dog pooped on your carpet, because that's the story of my life. Your kids are throwing a fit, your husband is being annoying, your wife's being annoying, like whatever, real life, right? I'm going to be so real with you guys because I think it needs to be relatable when we're talking about this. You have to catch yourself in that moment. Start everything with being grateful, and abundance will appear. Even when you don't want to do it, and I always relate things back to working out, even when you don't want to do it, you do it anyway. It's the same exact thing for mindset. So good thinking, I honestly, in easy terms, just means thinking about your thinking. And so I catch people all the time at the market. They'll be like, I go up to random people all the time in stores, and if I hear something like, if they're like, oh, like I suck at baseball, I will catch them in that moment, and I don't even know them, and I go up to them and I'm like, let me help you rephrase that. Maybe baseball isn't your best thing, but what you're really good at is playing volleyball. And they're like, who are you? And I'm like, high five, see you later. I don't know, I'm just weirdo like that because I hear all the things now that I probably used to put out there, all these vibes, and now I'm like, guys, we can change that. So everything that comes out of my mouth now, I try my absolute best. I don't hope, I don't wish, I don't do any of that anymore. I used to. And so now I focus on what I can control. So I want to give you guys an example that has helped me understand this good thinking idea. And it's based on perspective, because the way that you think, like, why can two people look at the same scenario and one person is like, oh, it's all good, don't worry about it, and the other person wants to like rip their head off? So it's all perspective. So I want to give you an example. There's two sisters, they're hanging out in the kitchen and they're sitting side by side. I labeled them Sister A and Sister B. Sister A gets an acceptance letter into her college program, graduate program that she was working so hard to get into, and she needs this graduate program to advance into the next part of her career. She has to go to school. And so she's so excited. She worked so hard for this. She's celebrating. And then Sister B looks at her and says, wow, that really sucks. You have 4 more years of school and you just graduated. So do you see how two people can look at the same scenario and they see it completely different? Now, here's how you can apply this to your life and coaching and life and everything. Sister A is going to look at a challenge, at hard work as an opportunity, because why? We grow. Right? Anything that challenges you is going to help you grow. Even if you epically fail, you will learn something through that opportunity, hands down. So every single day when you have a difficult decision of where should I be thinking right now, I want you to think like Sister A, okay? Any challenge or obstacle, everything happens for a reason. I'm all full of these mottos, right? I have believed that for a long time. It was my quote underneath my picture in high school. If you don't want to believe that everything happens for a reason, you're resisting it. I'm sorry, but you're resisting it, okay? Everything happens for a reason. I'm going to get a little personal with you guys so that you don't think life is rainbows and butterflies for me either, and how mastering my mindset has changed my life in like recent examples. October 2014, I'm 30, then 29. My fiance was then 23 and now 24. He was diagnosed with testicular cancer. 23 years old, he texted it to me and I'm all, what? And I share this with you guys because had I have not been proactive in understanding that all my mentors told me to master my mindset because it helps in this business and life, had I have not done that, I would have crumbled at that text message. I would have been like, team, I gotta go. I'm sorry. Life's too hard right now. I gotta go, right? But for me, and I understand that there's scenarios that you totally have to back off and we all need a break. But for me, personally, I wanted to challenge myself to dive in further. So what I did was I looked at my team and I said, guys, you know what? We're going to rock this. Cancer is an ugly word, and I hope that no one ever has to get that message, but we're going to show this who's boss, and I'm not going to crumble. And guess what? I doubled my income. I rank advanced. I changed lives because I focused on what I could control instead of what I couldn't. I couldn't make the cancer leave Sean's body. Yeah, we could go to the doctor and do all those kind of things, but I wanted to focus on what I could control. So every waking moment, I focused on my perspective and what I could do, what was tangible for me. Let me turn my phone off here. Okay, so that's my example of perspective. Every single day, we have that opportunity to conquer it or crumble. So you know that last day of the month where you're at Success Club 4 or Success Club 9 and there's 6 hours left in the day and you're like, oh, are you sister A or are you sister B? Do you say, I have 6 hours left in the day to message all my past people and to do an awesome post and to post an awesome workout video and focus on what I can control and work hard for Success Club? Or do you just turn on the TV and say, I didn't hit Success Club, it's okay, I'll do it next month? At least focus on what you can control, because guess what? When you wake up in the morning, if you worked as hard as you could on that last Success Club point, you'll feel a lot better about it, right? Okay, so how do I master my mindset? I have 5 things that I kind of touch on here. I kind of stopped bulleting them because I start to blend them all together, but there's 5 main ideas that I teach people about how to master my mindset. So do you ever wonder how people do the unthinkable? The person for me in this business is Janelle Summers. She is a 3-time superstar diamond. That means that she's hit 15-star diamond 3 times. No one's ever done it besides her. That's amazing. So to me, that's unthinkable. Think about the Olympian athletes that do these incredible things that you're just like, you're not real, right? How do people do that? Are they given the special superpower? I mean, maybe, but I really don't think that they are. Those people literally train their brain. They wake up like Carl Deichler every single day and they focus on one thing. And it's this with blinders on, and it's their goal, and it's forward, and it's positive, and it's business building. It's all the things that successful people do. So you have to train your brain, just like when you wake up in the morning, every single thought that comes into your mind. It starts to drive me crazy at this point now, because when I'm out in public, I'm thinking about my thinking and it's just like too much, but it's kind of fun for me. So if you can even just adopt that 50% of the time, you're going to notice a huge difference in your results. This is probably one of my favorite parts about this call that I do. So why is a strong mind crucial? Why is having that mindset dialed in so crucial? And I'll even add, especially in this business. Because people without a strong mind, they look to others for validation. I don't know if I can post that. I don't know. I'm not really that kind of person. You know, like all the things that we feel, the uncertainties, the lack of confidence. People with a strong mind, also known as mastering your mindset, don't need other people's validation. The best example that I can give, and my biggest inspiration in this business, Amy Silverman. Does that babe ask for anyone's permission to go and live her life and share her business and be her? And your answer better be no, because she does any and everything that she wants. And it's not a mentality of, oh, I'm going to go do what I want. It's, hey, I want to live my life in this way. This is what I want. I'm going to go after it. So I'm not a mom, but I'm a dog mom. And so I use the word squirrel syndrome. If you have a dog, you totally know what I'm talking about. You could be hanging like a steak in front of them and they'd see a squirrel and they'd run off, right? So you can't have squirrel syndrome in this business. I totally cracked myself up. You totally have to put those blinders on, okay? And you need to focus. So I work with Bonnie Engel as my success partner. She's number 6. She makes double the money. She's been doing this half the time I have. I could sit there and compare myself to her all day, but I start everything with being grateful and abundance will appear. So I start with being grateful that she's willing to work with me and connect with me and have fun with me. So put those blinders on. Remember why you're here. Be grateful and be willing to work on your mindset, because just like working out, you guys ever seen that meme of the little kid that is like holding up his shirt, looking at his stomach, and he has all these cute little rolls and he's like, do I have abs yet? You know, like an adult when they grow up might get abs, right? It's kind of like that. We're working out and we're working out and we're working out and you're like, hello, where's the abs? Well, it comes down the road if you're working hard enough. Oh crap, I only have 10 minutes. I didn't know you guys had a time left. Okay. Now I lost my train of thought, but okay, I'll move along. You guys need to read You're a Badass by Jen Sincero. Here's my deal with the book. I'm sure it's like old news. You guys know all about it. When you read that book, you have to go in completely willing to change your life. It's not like, oh, chapter 2 was okay, I guess. Oh, chapter 3 was good, but I didn't really like chapter 4. you have to adopt it and you have to apply it and you have to be willing to accept that. Okay. That was something that I really struggled with in the beginning. I have such a strong mind that I thought everything that I thought and believed and I experienced was it. It's not, right? We always grow and we evolve. So everything that we know is a learned belief. And the awesome thing about that is that you can change that. If you feel, oh, I'm not confident, I'm shy, I'm not sure, change that around. You have to understand and accept responsibility as a grown adult that you can change that. All the energy that we put into negative worry and stress is wasted and also equals ulcers. That's what I did. I worried about money and I worried about money and I worried about money and I worried about my relationship. But guess what I didn't do? I didn't focus on what I could control. So, see what I mean? Okay. Stop living the victim role. Life happened to me for way too long. I lost my job. My boyfriend broke up with me. I played all my cards right. Why was life happening to me? I did all the things my mom and dad told me to. I went to college. I got the job. Like, what the heck? There comes a point in your life where it's like, I don't want to feel like that anymore. And you want to be the victor. So I'm going to challenge you guys ahead of time before anything crazy happens. Like maybe life is rad for you right now and it is how you want, but I think we can always want and do more, right? Why can some people lose 100 pounds and some can't? This one gets me. Because then I have people who can't lose 5 pounds and other people are losing 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 pounds. So why can't they? All self-limitation, all mindset. As Team Beachbody coaches, if you teach mindset while you're talking to people about a challenge pack and what they're going to do and what you're going to help them do, you got to shift their mindset immediately. And that is going to help them understand that you genuinely care about them. If someone's all wishy-washy about it, be like, hey, a name popped up. Lindsay, you reached out to me. I know that you want to feel good and look good, whatever your goals are, lose the baby weight. So, I want you to start thinking in a positive way that this can happen. Because it's really hard for me when all you want to do is keep shutting it down. I'm here to help. I'm never going to convince anyone. I won't even waste my time convincing anyone. I want you to want my help. You have to have that kind of confidence. Why can some people lose 100 pounds and some can't? It's all a self-limitation. No one has this caution tape around you in a circle saying, don't go lose that 100 pounds. There's no one telling you not to. It's all up to you. So when you understand that fear is emotional, like all the sweaty palms and the buckled knees and the butterflies in your stomach, it's physically emotional. It's not tangible. You cannot touch it. That's when you're going to realize that you want to master your mindset. Right now, nothing is scary to me. I could literally, well, that's a lie. I won't jump off a cliff and like hang glide or anything like that, but we're talking business here, right? When you understand that fear is emotional and not tangible, that's when you realize I do have control over this. The other motto that pushed me through the beginning of my coaching career was everything we want is on the other side of fear. Everything that you want today is on the other side of getting a little scared, okay? And then my last thing to talk about, or last two things, they're super quick. Failure is usually our biggest fear. So the reason we don't do the scary things is because we're afraid that we're going to fail. The only time you fail is when you quit. And I'll add in there, don't try. Okay, if you don't try or you're not even willing to try, or even take the littlest baby step forward, that might be a time that you fail. But the only time you fail is when you quit. Another thing about failure, especially in this business, which is so cool, is it's only a delay. And I actually hate the word failure. It's so ugly. So Mindy Wender is an amazing coach in this business, and she has taught a lot of people in her webinars to replace the word failure with the word stumble. So when you say stumbling is my biggest fear, you kind of sound silly, right? Failure is only a delay. Best example that I can give you guys in this business. I hit 1 star. I went to Summit. I was pumped. Guess what happened the day I got to Summit? I went back to Emerald. I had to tell people I was back at Emerald. Is that bad? No. But it pushed me to understand that everything happens for a reason, because I eat my own words, right? And I found the positive, and I said, you know what? Maybe I wasn't ready to be a 1 star. Maybe it wasn't the time in my business. Even though I worked really hard for it and I think I deserve it, I'm in this for the long run. So for the next 4 weeks, I focused on what I could control, and I busted my butt, and you bet your butt that I never lost that 1 star again. Fast forward to recently at Summit, 6-star qualification, the last day of 6 weeks, and I dropped. And it hurt me, but I said, you know what, maybe I wasn't ready to be a 6-star, and it makes me more hungry so that when I hit 6-star, I can say it was my 2nd try or my 3rd try, however many times it takes me. Do you guys see the long-term benefit to having this mindset? Because this business only gets harder. So if you're a new coach, I'm not trying to scare you. It's not just like, oh, I'm a 6-star diamond. Yeah, like this is the hardest thing I've ever done, but it's the most rewarding thing I've ever done. And I will never want to do anything else, even if Beachbody never existed 50 years from now. I will help people for the rest of my life in any way I can. I'm so crazy. All right, let's talk about personal development. I know I have 3 minutes and 41 seconds. So personal development is your toolbox. You have this little invisible fancy tool belt that I just gave you. How many tools are in your tool belt? What are you guys reading? What are you absorbing? Don't tell me you don't have time, because how many people reach out to me and ask me to help them change their life and they tell me they don't have time for personal development? Oh, I will. Email me your schedule. I'd love to schedule a call with you. And then that's my way of finding out what their schedule is. And I'm like, I just found 10 hours of your week that you can read personal development. So every morning before I get out of bed, I lay down and my phone is right here by my ear. It's just what I do. And I listen to a podcast because I feel like it injects it right into my brain. I used to not like audiobooks. I was kind of like about it. But now I've read so many books that I'm like, this kind of gets old. So I've tried something new. Entrepreneur on Fire is a podcast that is awesome. Okay, it's not about Beachbody. They interview all different types of people and jobs all over the world. Some of them are mediocre, but most of them are amazing. And he uploads one every single day. Like literally, how long do you guys spend between by the time you snooze, get up, get in the shower, like all your morning activities? We're only talking 10 to 30 minutes here, guys. In the shower, in the car, you can find it. If you want to change your life, you will find the time. Some books that I recommend for you, one that was life-changing for me, other than You Are a Badass, is No Excuses by Brian Tracy. Ooh, he calls you out. He calls all your bluffs. And he helped me realize, because I was sticking around to that 1 year mark, and I'm like, why isn't my money growing? I'm here a year later like I'm told to. Well, I didn't accept responsibility to grow my business and recruit and pay it forward. So that helped me. I was like, damn, I really do got to put the work in here. Life's Golden Ticket by Brendan Burchard is a book on perspective. If you think you know it all, just like a lot of us think we do, right? This is the book that helped me understand that. It's a perspective book. It's a story book. It's based in a carnival. It's really cool. Then the last one is Thinking for a Change by John C. Maxwell. And if you master your mindset, you will become unstoppable. I did it.
You did it. You did it. Oh, I'm sorry we had to I'm sorry there was a time limit, but oh my goodness, thank you. I mean, I'm sure if anybody has questions, do you mind if they just shoot them over to you?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know, if you guys want to open another chat, another video chat or whatever, we can, but that's up to you guys. I just saw that in the chat box.
Yes, I got a few messages that a few people wanted to. Would you guys want me to do that, or do you guys want to shoot them over? Raise your hand if so, and I'll do it. Let me know. Yes.
You're sick of hearing me.
Anybody? Are you guys want me to? I'm not seeing any response. Okay, new chat. Got it. We'll just open up a quick new one to just ask questions and just do that really fast. Okay. Okay. Let me end it and restart.
Okay.